What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So for this video, I'm so excited to be filming because it's crazy what I'm filming. Well, what happened that made me decide to film this video. Anyway, so recently I went on an audition for a TV show. It was my first audition that I've ever been on. It was my first time doing any sort of auditioning for any type of role, and I booked the role. So I am a guest star in this TV show that is happening. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the TV show name, but it's on this streaming app called Premiere. So yeah, so I'm really happy. So I just thought I would tell you guys my not my role, but like my time doing it and what happened and how I got the role and everything like that. So me and my mom found out about the role from a Facebook ad that just popped up, and my mom just texted them and they gave us like this audition time and a place. So we didn't know if it was sketchy or not because it's like a Facebook ad, so you can never be too sure. But we went and it was not sketchy and it worked. And what happened was I just went there. I got this like sheet of paper that was like maybe this long, and I had 2 lines that I had to act with the director, and I did it twice. Once just like from paper, and the second time like improvising with the director, like he was just talking and I kind of went along with him. And there's like 2 auditions, and so I completed the first one and they asked me to come back. So I came back the next day, and this day it was a bigger monologue that I needed to speak. It was maybe 4 or 5 sentences. So we did that once with just full on paper, and then the second time again improvising, which this time I think I did much better since I kind of knew that maybe he was going to do that. So I did that, and then the director was like, okay, so she's like telling my mom, like, your daughter is very talented for being on her first audition, like she gets the role. And with this particular audition, it's so the script, or not the script, but like the show, the writers write the characters based off the person who has the role. So since they have to write our character, we have to give them like a fee so that they can write our character, and it's like a whole fee for a year. And so I was offered all the way to like the leading star on the show, but we went for the guest star because it was just more smarter than wasting $12,000 for a lead role instead of using $3,000 for a guest role, where I could get some experience being on the show and knowing like what to do and how many cameras and just being in front of a camera, and then later get more acting experience, and then be able to get a lead on a show without having to pay a ton of money, and where I'm getting paid. So we went for guest star. So I actually had my first pre-production meeting yesterday on Saturday. It was the first of 5 pre-production meetings, and it was so fun. Like, I was actually pretty nervous, but it was really fun. Like, I was with the writer and the other cast members were on my Zoom, and the writer was just asking us things about us, like our hobbies, what we like, what like our personality and what we are, so that she can kind of incorporate some of us into the character. So I thought that was really cool. And then we actually went through like a kind of like a quick read through of the scene that they gave us. So we were just like trying out different characters, like seeing who was better fit with reading what type of character, and we got to read our favorite character. So that was pretty fun. So that's what we did. It was really fun. I had so much fun in my first pre-production meeting. I loved it. And so yeah, I have 4 more pre-production meetings until like mid-July, and then that sounds wrong. Filming for this show is in December, so it's quite a chunk of time, but they do need to like write the characters and write the script and like that. So I'm so happy. I honestly didn't think I was gonna find any acting stuff here in Hawaii because this is where I live, but it was like there, and their filming is also set in Hawaii, so I don't have to travel, which is really good because I know actors like have to travel. but that was not the case, so I'm really happy about that. But so yeah, so I actually have my because they send us an email with this script, which it doesn't say anything, it just has a rehearsal script, and then I need to get it hole punched so I can fit it in the rings. And then our assignment was just to memorize our favorite characters' lines, so that the next production meeting on Saturday, which should be in June, we can read through and see how, and the director and writer can see how we are and how we know things. And then they sent out another email with like our whole not script per se, but like acting scenes, like just practice scenes. So we have to print those out, and then they gave us some like acting tips and techniques of when to know where your cameras are and your mark and all that stuff. So I have to print that out and then put it in this binder so I can have it all organized, because that is also what the email said, because you should definitely keep yourself organized when you are doing this, because if you're not organized, then it's going to become very chaotic. So yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I'm so happy that I actually booked. I didn't even think I was gonna book the role to begin with, just because it's my first audition and I didn't even think I was that good. I was kind of a bit nervous, but I ended up booking the audition, so that was really cool. And being on the show and just getting some acting experience just in general. So I'm really happy when filming starts, so I can get some acting experience being on the show and knowing where the cameras are. And yeah, but throughout these pre-production meetings, we're just, well, technically our next pre-production meeting is gonna be like a full like table read, I believe that's the terminology, where we're just gonna read through all of these practice scripts, because I think what we're going to do, I'm not sure, but we're going to act out the lines from the script that I have in here to see which one is the best fit for each cast member. And then we're gonna table read the actual practice scenes until we get our actual script of who we are playing. So I don't know, but because the writer was like, bring water in case you get thirsty, because we're gonna be reading a lot. So, but I'm really excited for that. I love that all the meetings are on Zoom, because I have to travel to my dad, to see him for summer. So I didn't want to like miss out on any meetings, but good thing they are on Zoom, and I'm just so happy. So yeah, but I just wanted to say some tips and tricks that I have learned. I'm obviously not an expert on acting, but this is how I have started. So my first tip: always be open to no's and like not getting the role. I feel like when you are starting an acting career or trying to get into acting, you always need to know that there are going to be people that say no. And there's a bug, there's a fly. There's always going to be someone that says no, and that's okay. Acting is all about people saying no to you, because it is a very competitive field, because there's a lot of actors out there with much more experience than me or someone else like me, and where they could easily book a role quicker than I could. So just always be open to the possibility that you won't get that particular role, and that's okay. Sometimes you might have talent, but it just comes down to the role and how they envision the person playing the role, and you just don't fit into that envision, but you are talented. Never forget that everyone can be talented in acting. It just, if you don't book the role, it's maybe because the director has a particular vision in his mind of how the character is and how the show wants to be, and he just doesn't think you're fit for the role. But there's always going to be more acting jobs out there, so just, you have to be open to that. Second tip, or like, I don't know, thing I would say, is always be prepared. Because this was my first audition, I did not know how it was going to be. I had watched loads of YouTube videos of people going to acting auditions and how they do it, and I just didn't know if this was going to be similar to that. So I just brought like the basics, which I didn't even need to use, but like if you get a script and it's longer than what I received, to like, to annotate it and mark it, and I brought like a highlighter, a pencil, and a pen, which I didn't even need to use because the lines, I could memorize them without having to like write anything. But always be prepared and bring like highlighters and things where you can mark your script. And if you have done more acting things, bring like your resume. I don't have that because I've just started, but I know that that is something you need to bring if you are in like, if you've done multiple acting jobs. So next thing I would say is be very organized. Whether you book the gig or you do not book the gig, I think it is very good to be organized. Like if you book the gig, keep all your work things for that particular show in like a folder or a binder like I have it, just so you're very organized. And whenever filming comes or when you have a meeting, you're always there, and because you never want to be that person that is not organized and that is not ready, and you're just like trying to find what page you are on the script. You don't want to be that person. So just be very organized. And if you're getting multiple roles at a time, like multiple acting jobs, you should definitely get like a calendar or a planner or some sort of thing where you can mark it and have it there to look at so that you don't forget. Because especially with me, since I have like multiple pre-production meetings and I have to mark when filming is and memorize my lines for my script, you have to, it's key to be very organized, or you are going to things are going to become very chaotic. So just organization is definitely a big part of, acting. Second, I would say is to get a lot of experience first. Like go into an act, you can go audition for a show, but you should get experience. Like go to commercials and do like the smaller roles that might not necessarily make you big on acting, but give you experience on acting. So if you do land a lead role or a side role on a show, you already have the experience and you're not being overthinking everything, because you already know like how things are going to be with all the cameras and all the equipment and everything that's going to happen on set. So definitely get experience if you can. I have not done acting lessons. I did musical theater in middle school. Well, I'm still in middle school, but in 7th grade I did musical theater. And then I would teach myself a bunch of acting things. Like I would watch YouTube videos of people acting, and then I would just Google monologues on my laptop and just practice those. Or I would do the TikTok acting challenges where like you have to, the other person, and then you act it out with them. Just anything that can get you experience, even if you can't necessarily do a lesson. Do anything like from doing monologues. I actually also have practiced reading books because I have 2 books in my library over there that is like a script writing, where the book is set up in a form where it's like script form. So I sometimes go through those characters and just pretend like I'm that character. Or I will act out some scenes from TV or something. Just anything that can get me open and like experience into acting. That is something I definitely would do. Also, try to, if you can, be very open to starting new things and learning new things, because acting, the more things you can do and the more things more things you know about, it's easier to be able to book roles. Like for me, I'm learning how to speak Spanish because I can speak Spanish, but not fluently. So I'm trying to learn from the basics, so it's easier. Like if there's a role that I need to speak Spanish, or like something that comes up with that, I already know it. Or just like trying new things, because when I had my first pre-production meeting, she was writing all these little things that I could do into like our script. And so just knowing little things, like I play the piano, which is, my keyboard is back here. I do volleyball, I read. Like I'm trying to be open to learning new things and teaching myself these things, and so I can have just more opportunities to book roles or do something, because in this pre-production meeting, the writer said that she might write in a dance that she'll choreograph, or the choreographer will choreograph, and I will have to learn it because I kind of did some dance when I was younger. I took ballet. But just anything that gives you little things that you can do to make it easier to get roles. So yeah, that is all my tips. I am just starting out, so I don't know like the full, everything about acting. This is just what I did and how I got to where I am with this TV show and how I'm staying organized with it. But I'm definitely not a professional. This is my first acting gig, so I don't know the whole thing of everything you are supposed to do. But this is just what has worked for me and what I've needed to do and what has come to me that I know I will need. So, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn the post notifications on so you can get updated every time I upload a new video. And the room transformation will be coming soon because I'm in my new house finally, if you can't tell by like the different setup behind me. And I have my room set up, and it's actually set up right now, but it's not like final touches, and there's trash in like boxes because we just moved in. So I will do a room tour pretty soon, which I'm so excited for. And I will update you guys on many of my acting things, like anything else I've learned, or I don't know, just my thing, my role, my path up to acting in this show. Yeah, but thank you for watching this video, and I hope you liked it. Bye!